Hey cards, welcome to yet another video on the sub only space. So I know you're expecting a video on why men cannot band together to call out the men who are perpetrating violence and injustices against our children and against our women, but it is still coming due to public demand today. I am giving you a couple of books that you need to read so as to understand the systems and why they have been put in place the way that they are. Also, I want to teach you today why listening to the Sprinkle Sprinkle Lady Shira 7 may actually be detrimental to you. If you listen to Shira 7, then you understand that the end goal for most of her lessons is to get a man to settle down with. And for the modern woman, this may not be the dream. In fact, it is not the dream for most modern women to be domesticated. But do you know whose dream it is to be domesticated? A sex worker. This is why I am constantly emphasizing the need for you to know who you're taking your advice from. Because most of these women who are perpetrating the sprinkle sprinkle idea and the sprinkle sprinkle narrative are former sex workers. And for such women, it is not a bad thing for you to be a sex worker as long as you're not being coerced or, But the truth of the matter is that most of these women, they dream of the day that a man will rescue them from the industry. You do realize that the sex work industry is based on your looks and most importantly, your youth. That is why in sex work, it is normal for people to go and get botched plastic surgery because you have to keep tuning yourself up, tuning your body up to match the aesthetics that most men want, to match the looks of the younger girls getting into the industry. And these women in the back of their minds know that once I hit a certain age, this is also why there is so much discourse on the topic of women expiring when they get to a certain age. Because for most of these sex workers, once you've started showing signs of aging, such as a fupa developing, some skin stretching and whatnot, then you're put aside because there are newer, fresher, younger women and girls that are entering the industry. So for most sex workers, it is a dream come true for a man to see their worth beyond the sex. For a man to think, you know what? Beyond the sex, you are so intellectual, you're so beautiful, we can have intellectual conversations. You know what? I think I want to marry you. I think I want to commit to you. For such women, it is a rescue because most people will not tell you, but the sex industry is very dehumanizing. You have to jump through hoops to get the amount of money that you want. And the payer is the one that determines what it is that you will do to get the money. For these women, settling down or getting married is financial security because you understand that you cannot still do sex work at 50. But once you have been married by a rich man, then you can live off of his money. And even when you're divorced, as long as you are legally married, you are entitled to some of his finances, some of his assets, which sets you up financially. Now, if you want to understand why this really is sex work advice, listen to what she says when she's talking about women going out on dates. What does she call it? Not on dates, when women go out with the expectation to meet men of means. What does she call it? Freestyling. When you look up freestyling in sex work terms, it is going behind the back of your madam to find direct clients. That is what freestyling is. It is choosing not to wait for the clients that your madam will bring you and going out to find clients for yourself. In contrast, for the modern woman, marriage is a conditioning. It is not necessarily a desire. Because we have been conditioned to believe that once you hit 25, you need to be married. Once you're 29 and you do not have a husband, then you're unmarried, you're a spinster, there's a problem with you, you need to settle down, and there is a ticking clock. All this conditioning has been set so that you go seeking these men. While in real sense, for a modern woman, once you domesticate yourself in the form of becoming someone's wife, you automatically have to become less ambitious because you have all had that for a woman to be a good mother and whatnot, you have to sacrifice career ambition so you can nurture your children. And you have seen the hate that women get for letting nannies take care of their children while they go out to work. You have to socialize less. Women are even asked, have you seen your mothers with besties? And it is made like such a bad thing, almost a sin for a married woman to be hanging out with friends, for a married woman to be going out for drinks regularly. So you have to socialize. You have to socialize less and less and dress in a certain manner so that you're considered modest and so you do not bring shame to your husband. Let us not forget about the unpaid domestic and emotional labor that most of these women have to offer these men in return for love. Love, which we all know does not exist, because if it did, these men would not be leaving their wives in the home taking care of their newborn children to go out and pay sex workers. So while it is the wisest thing for a modern woman to avoid domestication and chase stability in the form of careers and hobbies and fulfilling friendships with fellow women, for sex workers, they are happy to climb into marriage because for them, that is safety, that is financial stability for them. There's a book titled Against Love by Laura Kipnis. I recommend all women to read that book because it is going to break you free from the delusion and the illusion of love when it comes to romantic relationships between women and men. Now, these books are very rare to find in hard copy form. So if you can, go to Ocean the PDF or Ocean PDF online, you can download them on there. Just make sure you have a good antivirus on your computer, just in case. There is also another book known as The Second Shift by Ali Russell, I believe. And this one, if you are a woman who is currently deconstructing from the whole idea of motherhood as a fulfilling adventure and being married and love and romantic relationships with men, you will really enjoy this book because it gives you a different perspective from what women have been fed by religion and by media on the bubble and the fantasy that is love. So, thank you so much for watching till the end of the video and for subscribing. It gives me the motivation to keep going. During this week, I promise, before the week is done, in fact, in 2-3 days, I am going to put up the next video with more books at the end. But the next video, as promised, will be on the nature of men that does not allow them to band together to fight the men who are perpetrating all these injustices against our women and our children. Until then, ciao.